It has to happen. So yeah, this episode of Ghost Game, I had a really good theory, and then it just fell apart, and it was like, oh, alright, I guess this episode was whatever after all.
Right, I saw you post the thing in Discord, but I didn't read it because I hadn't watched the episode yet.
Survive has 8 tropes instead of 3. You know what, I like some tropes. Some tropes are nice, yeah. So yeah, just to get to upon this, yeah, these freaking pillars, like, they go underground, it's like they find new characters to, like, join up with them, like, really find some people on a forum. So they go underground, and they're all attacked and captured by Gigasmon, who just somehow happened to show up, which is very weird while we're watching through Frontier, but alright, very convenient timing there.
Yeah, Gigasmon's just here for some reason.
Yeah. As they go underground, they go into this underground cavern, and it specifically draws attention to the weird, like, surroundings of this place. Because there's all these pillars with these, like, spores of glowing moss on the ceiling above them that look like trees. And I saw this, and I thought for a second, wait a minute. Didn't we see this before? Wasn't this, like, a thing back in, like, Angoramon's big episode with Digitamamon? Wasn't this in the digital world? Does this mean that, like, because this place is a Gigasmon burial site, or sorry, a burial site that Gigasmon made, I should say, because this place is a burial site that he's, like, creating as, like, a shrine to these dead people or whatever, that, like, that area in the previous episode was also a burial site? So I went back and I was like, okay, where is that? You know, what was that location? And I scanned through the entire episode and I could not find it. I completely misremembered and accidentally made the show way more interesting than it actually is. So screw me, I guess.
Yeah, the place that Angoramon and Digitamamon checked out was just some random cave.
Well, there are 2 places. There's the random cave full of Platinum Numamon for their goofy story, and there's another story at the start of the episode where they're reading off of what seem to be, like, giant slabs of stone and giant, like, black towers. And, like, they're reading the digital text on from what's, like, presumably a library from how they phrase it, or how they frame it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh yeah, we used to, like, study together all the time in the digital world, and that's our first look at the place. And that did not have any of these pillars either. So there's nothing. There's literally nothing.
No, it's just a cave system with glowing moss.
Just, if anyone out there is watching this, if I'm wrong and we did actually see pillars like this before, please let me know. Because me thinking I was onto something is one of the most interesting things that's happened in Ghost Game, outside of the werewolf episode. So yeah, that's something. I should mention one other thing, which I probably should have actually got an image of, but screw it, I wasn't thinking. And that's like, hey, new opening, or rather, like, new section to the opening, and now it's like, there's a little bit where you see Gigasmon for a second, which implies that he's definitely coming back, and then you see everyone's evolutions, and you just see all these evolved forms, and there's a very large, very notable space next to Cano-Weissmon that just has, like, nothing in it. And it's like, oh, huh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything to anything is going to happen from that, but who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. So, like, crazy crackpot theory time. Gigasmon is completely overpowered at this point. Like, he has to come back because he's relevant. He would be up against 2 ultimates at once. There's no way they could logically justify that. I don't think they would be able to really do anything with that at all. here's why I'm thinking. What if Gigasmon is supposed to be representative of a star? We've like already kind of like went through this, you know? And it's like there's a lot of like hints to this and stuff. What if Gigasmon has a dark evolution that's basically like a black hole, and that's the new reference?
Could be. It would be a good extension of Gigasmon.
Yeah, so Gigasmon turns into, let's say, like Gigasmon Black or something. That would allow him to fight two ultimates on even footing, realistically speaking. And that'd be like a good way of bringing him back and actually have him be a proper threat somehow.
Angoramon?
Yeah, I could see that. Angoramon. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, instead of white, it's just like black, yeah.
Yeah. I had to stop and think what the Latin word for black was.
Yeah. I feel like we've also seen that in the future, like, you know, friggin' Gamamon does get some weird abilities to, like, redirect powers and stuff. So, who knows if that's, like, still gonna be a thing. Maybe that has something to do with, you know, some, like, black hole-themed ability of some kind, you know? Maybe he can, like, bend energy in some weird way or something. I don't know. It would be interesting. It would be very interesting. But yeah, that's my theory. I think we're gonna see a dark evolution that, like, maybe they'll learn to control, maybe they won't. And that, like, that form is gonna take up the last space in the, like, intro segment. That's like, you know, we'll see Angoramon or whatever, and he'll just be, like, you know, filling that space out. Because otherwise, I don't know why they would, like, you know, frame the shot in such a way that it's like a big circle and then have a big chunk missing out of it, you know?
What if there is no other version of the ultimate form, and it's just that the Mega only evolves out of Gigasmon?
That would be interesting.
And so they have to deal with, like, the volatile nature of Gigasmon to get to the Mega form.
That'd be very interesting. I'd definitely see them doing that, where it's like, you know, they have to somehow, like, you know, get Gigasmon to, like, you know, accept, like, his other self and all this stuff, and actually, like, you know, have the two sort of, like, halves, like, you know, just, like, come together in some way to get the Mega. Because that seems really logical as, like, a plot device. That sounds very, like, plausible. It's like, oh, we, like, you know, accept that the darkness within Gamamon is a part of him, and then, you know, hey, here's a Mega form, and it's both the white and the black or something. You know, I don't know, maybe that's how I do the Galaxy thing, where it's like, maybe the white and the black form like a spiral pattern somewhere or some crap like that. Who knows? But it's an idea. But yeah, episode was good. Got some good JoJo reference. Laughs out of it. And I'll say I like the fight, surprisingly. Yeah, the fight in this episode was great. Keep in mind that we're only 2 months away from, like, Ghost Game being a year old. It'll be interesting if this year one of Ghost... If this is just year one of Ghost Game, but who knows? We at least know that Gulus isn't a dropped aspect, I guess. Yeah, because he shows up in the intro, so, like, he has to come back, right? Because why not?
You would think so.
Man, it would be so good if I could just look at people and be like, hey, you know what? Episode 35 is the exact point where it starts picking up, but then this episode just is nothing. I also forgot that we technically are a month behind in episodes too. Oh, really? Yeah, because of the whole, yeah.
Been missed.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah. It is also worth knowing that we do have new characters this episode who join up and may be more recurring. Because we specifically draw attention to them as, like, you know, people on a rumor hunting forum.
I doubt they'll show back up. There's some random fans of Ruli, and she was like, "Hey, we could use some help."
I'm not so sure. Because I forget their names, but red-haired girl seems a bit generic. Curse Girl? Absolutely. Yeah, Curse Girl's absolutely showing back up. I can feel it. I get the impression not only is she going to show back up, but we're going to literally learn that her weird, like, crystal curse wave, like, I can sense the vibes in the air thing, is just going to be real. Because she says, like, I sense evil waves from this place or whatever, and oh hey, there's a Digimon who's really upset. And it's like, okay, yeah, so she was kind of right on that one. And, every time she says, like, I sense, like, waves from this direction or whatever, it's like Gigasmon just appears. And it seems like, she can actually sense where he is somehow. I don't think it's gonna be, like, supernatural powers. I think it's are gonna be, like, like a coincidence or something involving the crystal actually reacting with the digital world somehow or something. But either way, this is going to be legit. I can feel it.
Doubt it.
Characters could come back. Being important now, that's another story. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, whether or not they come back and they actually do anything that's relevant is a way bigger issue. But yeah.
So yeah,
So Gigasmon.
To actually talk about the episode, I guess buildings have just been sucked underground.
Yup. And then spat back out.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens at the start of the episode, is it gets sucked under and then it comes back up, and it's like, alright, that's really effing strong, holy crap.
Yeah, I think the idea is he just took all the people out of the building and then put it back.
Yeah, because why would he?
Yeah. So, Gigasmon's motivations... he saw a thing on TV where somebody's predicting the end of the world, and Gigasmon just buys it wholesale and is just like, okay, y'all, like, all humans are gonna die, and instead of you suffering, I'll turn you all into statues.
I could be wrong, and this doesn't really matter, but, like, it seemed to me like he was watching some trailer for, like, a disaster movie.
Oh, that would be actually pretty funny.
And, characters are like, oh, the world is coming to an end, and there's, like, images of, like, tsunamis and stuff, and I think they, like, give a date, and I'm like, oh, yeah, it's the date for the film, of course.
Okay.
Like, it could be the actual, like, prediction on some weird, crazy video or something, but, like, no, I feel like, it being a movie does make a bit more sense.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of there just being, like, a video in public broadcasting someone's crackpot end of the world date speculation, yeah, that makes more sense.
The fact that no one recognizes that, like, Digimon are a thing at this point is insane. Just, like, buildings are just sinking into the ground and resurfacing, and everyone's just like, oh, huh, that's weird. And they just move on about their day without a second thought.
Yeah.
We are beyond rumors.
One of the dudes that they're going into the cave with is just like, hey, are you sure that thing on your back isn't a monster? Like, that's really a hologram? And then Gamamon's like, yep, I'm a hologram. And that's the end of that discussion.
That's the end of that, I guess. Oh, man. I feel like just at this point, like, by the time you're, like, hitting ultimate level and you're just casually fighting other ultimates just wherever, just consistently, and you're seeing people, like, deal with this crap, like, ultimates have always been around, But it feels like the point where you're hitting, like, Angoramon and this level of crap is the point where people should really start taking notice in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of those shows. Oh, jeez, I know what you mean.
Yeah, where it's like super crazy things are obviously happening and just nobody notices. Like I've said before, the Vegemon episode is like the pinnacle of how stupid this is.
People should have noticed Vegemon. I think they had, like, just news helicopters and stuff on the poison building.
Yeah.
People will have seen that dragon flying away from that. The night race is pretty hard to cover up.
No, but there are no cars on that road, so nobody saw it.
No, because I distinctly remember they specifically crush one of the cars and it explodes or something. I know some car explodes.
That was at the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
I'm talking about like I'm talking about the big stupid race at the end of the episode, which should have been noticeable to everybody if that highway wasn't like a bizarro highway with no cars on it.
My suspension of disbelief is getting destroyed. The Vegemon episode should have been the star of people questioning.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been so much crap. Like, even Mummymon, it's like that hospitalized people. People are like, nearly killed by that, and they woke up and they said, like, hey, I was captured and trapped by a giant mummy. What the heck was that? Freaking Clockmon, yeah.
The closest thing we have is Ruli's friends being like, okay, there's something going on, but we won't ask any questions.
Yeah. Pumpkinmon's pretty hard to, like, ignore. They would have had to literally give the antidote to everyone in Jattermon, like, poisoned. They would have had to go to their house and do that. As I mentioned, Angoramon just breaking through walls and stealing people's faces in broad daylight. Was, like, there's some Arwa around that point that was really crazy, too.
Betsumon replacing people.
Yeah, Betsumon just replacing everyone. News reports of weird creatures. Are they real or not? Oh man, there's one I was thinking was like especially bad. I can't remember it right now. Was it the because there's some instance of Digimon. Oh right, yeah, Monzimon, where Monzimon? Yeah, girl just walking around with like just two monsters behind her, turning people into dolls in broad daylight. Like, just literally including people at her school who would know her, and who got unturned after the episode.
About the episode with the dragon god Digimon.
Yeah, freaking Yimid. No, was it? Yenom? Yemen is like a place? Jeez, just giant dragon god with this procession of, like, just subordinates just casually flying through town over a crowded city area just to rip the roof off of a building and try to just shoot divine thunder at a child.
Yeah, who was it? Angoramon, or is it someone else?
That was a Zulongmon.
Oh, okay.
The dragon god, yeah.
I currently have Angoramon on my vital bracelet because I screwed up and didn't get Sentiramon.
Yeah, literally one of the Devas.
Yeah.
Can give the first few episodes a break because they're so out there. Most people might think their tales told by a small group of people. That's the thing. This is just like, just out there over the city, though. Everyone can see it. Remember in, like, Digimon Adventure when, like, Greymon fought Parrotmon in the middle of the city? And everyone was, I guess people didn't actually catch on, that's a bad example. But still left permanent damage and, like, screwed the area up. And, like, even after the kids came back, there was, like, still damaged bridges and stuff. And, like, all the kids are people who saw it happen and were like, huh, that's weird. Alright.
I prefer the Digimon narratives where the Digimon stuff happens and people notice.
How do you not notice an entire building disappearing and then being turned to stone and having someone revive you? He has to turn all these people back from stone to normal. Did people think these are all just big promotional stunts? Do they think there's just a rash of ARGs going on?
No idea.
It's getting so absurd at this point. Like, and they're not going to address it. They will never address it. Yeah, the Dran and the Vegron stuff was just nonsense. Yeah. Oh man.
But by the way, it's only related since you mentioned a Jattermon, but I got a couple of new dim cards, one of which has a Jattermon on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got the Jungle dim card and the New Metal Empire dim card, which has a bunch of machine Digimon, including Heavy Leomon.
Nice.
Yeah, he looks pretty cool.
Man, what's on my mind? There is one thing I do want to mention. And this is completely unrelated to everything, but for like the Digimon Survive stream, I was thinking of getting like someone to commissioned and like, you know, I am really bad with words. I was thinking of commissioning someone to make a new emote. I was thinking like, hey, you have any ideas for what a fun emote we could do would be, just for like, you know, having something.
I have no idea. I thought you was thinking of this because you had an idea.
No. I do have some ideas, but not really great. I've got, like, Death Lion and my Osmon Cop so far, and one of them's MS Paint, and the R1 doesn't look great. And they're both kind of whatever, so it really is about time to get some actual good-looking ones. But yeah, I was thinking, like, you know, maybe something like, you know, we have like a Skull Greymon that's happy and giving a thumbs up, and it just says they gotta go.
I like the idea, but I don't know if that much text would work.
It might not work, but it would be really funny. You know, it would probably be funnier if it just says kill them. Nah, that's not as good, nah. But yeah, it's like kicking some ideas around it. It's like, yeah, if anything comes to you, just let me know on like Discord or anything. You know, same for anyone in the chat. If you have any ideas for something you'd want to see, like, screw it. I'm open to suggestions. Because, like, I feel like the Dalbymon has kind of, like, run its course, and so is the whole Donald Trumpmon theme. Which, like, honestly, that's such an inside joke and no one even remembers what it's about anymore. Friggin' Donald Trumpmon. Oh, man.
Wait, there are Frontier dims out?
Oh, nice.
Oh, not yet.
This show's missed potential really bums me out sometimes. I like this very Pokemon approach with the episodic formula. Got into a discussion with someone who said if Digimon did everything like Pokemon, it would be so much better. Nah, I like that Digimon's so different. Gives it the identity it is, but when it's mid to bad, we need to call it out. Oh yeah, just straight up. I completely agree with you, man. Like, if Digimon was just doing the Pokemon thing, it was like, you know, literally just Pokemon, then, like, what's the point, right? We already have Pokemon, and it's really well animated. It's like, sure, I like Digimon designs better and stuff like that, but, you know, if it's not going to, like, take itself seriously and, like, be that, you know, unique sort of thing, and, like, take these big risks, that's like, what's really separating it? Like, that's to put it in our way. It's like, you know, sure, Ghost Game is good, But the Pokemon anime's also been really good recently, so why won't I just watch that if I'm, like, looking for something in, like, a similar age range with, like, the same type of, like, gimmicks and stuff? Like, I feel like the fact that Digimon is kind of, like, a bit, like, darker, a bit, like, older was like, helping it stand out so much. And it's like, this episodic formula just doesn't really work as well for that demographic, I think. Like, that's just me, though, yeah. That's just my opinion. Although I feel like, most people watching this probably agree by now. I don't know, if you ever watch this video and you disagree with the fact that I want Ghost Game to be serialized to some extent and not, like, episodic, then, like, hey, leave a comment down below and I'll at least read it and hear you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Journey's alright. It's high points, but I'd honestly say it has similar issues to Ghost Game. Yeah, I think that's fair, yeah. I mean, again, though, if it's like the same issues, then why not just watch that, right? Cause, I don't know, man, I don't know. It's frustrating. It's frustrating in a way that Digimon hasn't really been before, and I mean, sure, that is a risk, but I don't think this one's paying off as much as some others have. But yeah, anything else we really have to say about this?
Not really.
It's another solid Ghost Game episode that doesn't progress anything and will probably be very skippable in the near future. But hey, at least the villain of the episode's pretty fun. I like that he's like crying over, like, the downfall of humanity, and he's like, no, I just want to stop everyone from living so they won't have to see the horror of the end times. And they have to, like, prove to him that, like, people are fine fighting to, like, save the world and stuff, or to save other people.
Yeah, he's like, I think at some point he says humans can't turn into Digitama, so I'm killing them, so I'm like turning them to stone so they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Which, honestly, it's kind of like, oh, you're going to die, so I'll just kill you instead. But I mean, in his eyes, he's probably doing it way more painlessly. Man, is this how Dr. Stone happens? Is this how that goes down? Like, Gigasmon just finds a way to project his power across the world, and then everyone just gets turned to stone for like 3,000 years? Hopefully this is really just year one, but not holding my breath, yeah.
Gigasmon made the weird light.
It was Gigasmon all along. Man, I've heard what the explanation is. It's kind of dumb, but also I don't know what else they could have went for.
I'm just glad there's an explanation.
There's an explanation. It's like one of those things where if you think about it for like a second, it's like, okay, well, it has to have been something like this. It's like, it happens, Aliens. And it's like, a little off.
It's not aliens.
Although I think aliens are canon to the Dr. Stone universe.
Sick.
But yeah, there are some fun revelations on the way to leading people to that conclusion. Yeah, hope this is just year one issues, but not holding my breath. Yeah. I really hope that by the time we hit, say, episode 40, that, like, we start getting more, like, continuations of former plot points and stuff starts coming together. Because I can't imagine we're getting more than 52 episodes, and that's not a lot of time in itself.
Yeah.
Something like 12 episodes is not a lot for an arc, and we're reaching that point really fast. But at the same time, I can't imagine them doing it like specifically 37 or something at this point. They're too, like, on track for this. So, hey, you remember what the preview for the next episode was? Cause I don't.
Zombies.
Okay, awesome. It's probably gonna be nothing.
Probably.
Maybe get like 60 plus like adventure reboot. Yeah, hopefully. That'd be cool if we got like more than 60 episodes of this. If this is just a really long one, then that'd excuse a lot if they eventually get to the freaking point, because holy crap. Even if it's like 60 plus, we're already halfway through that, I'd imagine. Yeah, it's not exactly a lot of time to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I'm just imagining the next episode's probably gonna be Late Devimon or something. It's gonna mean nothing. Because we still have so many Digimon in the intro who haven't even shown up yet. Like, we haven't seen Machinedramon, we haven't seen Late Devimon. Edamon hasn't